Hello, everyone, and welcome back to an exciting episode on the Serious Hangout. With me today, I have a very, very special guest, and it is none other than Victoria Luanda. Victoria Luanda is my sister. Yes, she is. And she is the CEO of Braca Drops. Yeah, let's just get a feel of who she is, where she comes from.
Thank you very much, Joyce. I'm actually very excited to be here.
Oh, wow.
To see you in your element makes me so proud. It's
Okay.
really touching my heart. But yeah, let's dig into it. Who am I?
Yeah.
Who am I really? That question is it's so vast, you know. You never know what the
But
other person actually wants to hear. But I love the fact that it's vast because I get to decide or to choose what I want to share with you guys.
that's true.
So, in a nutshell,
Mhm.
I'm the family's secretary. Let me
Yes,
put it
she
like
is.
that. I'm the go-to person
Okay.
when they need cell phone numbers. I'm the family plug. I'm the planner. That is in my nature. So administratively, like I'm an administrator by nature.
Okay.
So I'm also an administrator in my profession. I'm an
Okay.
administrator in the maritime industry.
Hmm.
I studied administration also. I did an honors degree in Bachelor's of Business Administration.
Oh.
So that is who I am in a nutshell, an administrator at the core.
Okay.
Yes. So
And you are the
CEO.
yeah.
So I'm also the administrator.
Yeah.
I'm the CEO and the founder. And I find it very hard to delegate because I'm an administrator. That is what I do. That is
Yeah.
but let's dig into Braca. Let me take you to Braca. So Braca, firstly, people always ask me, what does it mean? With the name, because it's very unique.
Yeah.
And it's difficult to pronounce.
Yeah.
They see it and they don't even want to pronounce it because I get phone calls like, I don't know what you call it, but I don't even want to take a chance. Okay, but Braca is basically a valley of blessings.
Oh,
If you
wow.
look it up,
That's
yes,
beautiful.
that is what it means. So I'm basically a walking blessing. That is what I want to do to be to others when we started Braca. So Braca is a valley of blessings, meaning everywhere I go, everywhere I drop, I drop blessings.
Okay.
Be it in events management, because I do events as well. So I do beach picnics.
Okay.
And when I started, I was mostly focused on couples. It was mostly a romantic setting.
Okay.
Where I used to do intimate intimate dinner settings and intimate parties and surprises, walking surprises, hotel rooms, bedrooms, that type of feel. That was COVID actually opened up that space for me.
Okay. So best if I say that you are a event planner
Yes.
that specializes on okay, obviously all event planners specialize on what the client wants, but you're more on like the intimate settings.
Yes, I'm on the intimate settings, but funny enough, the direction actually changed.
Oh.
Last year, yes, the direction changed. It took a different course because I'm now more on the outdoor setting.
Oh.
That is mostly the core of my business is now the outdoor setting. So I'm doing the outdoor beach picnics. Groups, friends love it.
Okay.
The group picnics. I'm doing the outdoor movie dates.
Okay.
So that is basically now more. That is what is calling me more at this moment.
Where is that? Where are you situated?
I'm situated in the coast in Walfish Bay,
Okay.
Namibia, the coast of Namibia. So that is basically where we are.
Okay, so anyone coming from Windhoek or abroad or anywhere else, they can just reach you on Instagram.
Yes, definitely on Instagram, and I'm also now on TikTok.
Oh, okay.
So
Nice.
it's just Braca_drops.
Okay.
You'll find my handle. That's my handle.
Okay, and all the contact details will be on it.
All the contact details are on there.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Oh, thank you very much. That's a wonderful introduction. Getting to know you. I know you, but the audience needs to know you more. Yeah, and what a phenomenal woman, you know, a go-getter. We call her a go-getter in Laos. So yeah, she's such a go-getter. Anything she puts her mind to, she really, really strives to achieve it. So we can only aspire to be like you.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Our topic for today is we'll be covering a few topics or discussion points rather. So we find ourselves. It's 2024. It's January, and we all have these New Year resolutions and all that. And I think it's just time. I think a lot of people are taking off time now just to think, what do I want in 2024? Where do I think my life, how do I want to align it with certain things, and what season do I find myself in. So season being the key word here, it's very, very challenging to identify what season you're in, firstly, because you have to be honest with yourself. You have to sit down with yourself and say, okay, am I in a reaping season, or am I in a harvesting season, or sowing season, or well, whichever season you find yourself in. Only then can you identify which season you're in, and maybe also practice gratitude and so forth. Just on gratitude, I firmly believe that regardless of what season you're in, you should practice gratitude.
Yes.
Because I know
Definitely.
it's very, very hard to practice gratitude when you are in, the sowing season, because you just feel like I'm waiting, or if you're in the waiting season, you're like, Lord, I've been waiting for so long and nothing is coming, and how do I say thank you, which is really, really hard, if I'm being honest. But it's very important. That has helped me tremendously in different seasons that I found myself in. And also, it just gives you that push when you actually get the thing, or whatever you've been praying for, just to say, you know what, I knew he's going to come through. I knew it was just a matter of time. So yeah, seasons. What season do you find yourself in? And yeah, walk us through that season. How did you identify the season you're in?
Phew. It has been rough. Seasons are always changing.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I'm always reminded of, I actually had to live it out.
Okay.
And remember that I constantly had to tell myself, Nishi, do not rush out of a season.
Oh yeah.
Because I feel that every season is there for a reason. It is either to prune you, groom you,
Yeah.
It serves a purpose.
Yeah.
So do not rush out of a season into the next season because you didn't get all the equipment, you didn't gather everything you need for the next season.
Oh yeah.
So the season I'm currently finding myself in, I actually had this discussion with a sister of mine.
Okay.
And we spoke about seasons the other day. And she asked me, Ndeshi, what season do you find yourself in?
Okay.
And I actually paused. I looked at her and I took a while to answer. And she said, Ndeshi, it's obvious. You don't know what season you're in. I'm like, what do you mean it's obvious? She said, no, you're in the reaping season. And she mentioned something that was so profound in that moment. She told me that when we are in the reaping season, we are so consumed by sowing and thinking about what is the next thing that we miss to see what God is currently doing in that season, because things are working out for you. You've been sowing, now you are reaping. So I think we have this idea of, if it's a reaping season, I should be flying out to Bali. I should be, it's in those small things, because she's somebody very close to me.
Okay.
She's somebody very close to me, so she could see, no, you are really you. From relationships, from friendships, from work, business, you are reaping. And I can attest that I'm in the reaping season, and it's beautiful. It's been a journey. It's beautiful. I'm loving it. I'm loving every aspect of it, because everything is blooming. It's from the friendships, from the relationships, from the family, from the business. I just love it. I don't have to fight as much as I used to in the sowing season. Now I'm resting. I'm just plowing. I'm just plowing. I'm just reaping.
Wow, that sounds really, really good. Reaping season. Wow.
Yes.
It's really. I don't think I've ever heard someone actually admit, like, I'm in the reaping season. It's always like, I've been waiting, or I'm still waiting. Because we are always so focused on the next thing, like you said, so focused on the next thing. What is, okay? I got this degree. What am I gonna do next? But you don't take a moment to just say, you know what, I've worked so hard, 4 years of studying every day or every other day, and here it is. It's the moment I'm walking, across that stage. I think I graduated last year, and for a moment I was just like, okay, what's next? And I think something just told me, like, take a moment and say thank you, because it was hard. Studying was hard. You went through so much while studying. All the seasons that you went through were the seasons that really groomed me, and here we are, we're reaping. Yes, it's not maybe the one thing you want to reap, but then you're reaping.
Definitely.
You graduated.
Definitely.
And you're in that moment to celebrate it.
Definitely.
And I now have like an accountability partner that really reminds me every other day that you're winning, or I'm just celebrate the small wins, you know. You did A, B, C, D at work, you achieved it. You said you have this target and you reached it. Celebrate it. Buy yourself a coffee, buy yourself a lunch bar if you don't, you know, just small things, or read a book. Cause like my one friend said, she said for her celebration or self-care is not always going to the spa or, you know, treating yourself outside. She said, for me, self-care is reading a book. Just telling myself, okay, for 2 hours I'm doing nothing, no social media, no nothing, reading a book. And that is how I give myself. And she said, I find so much more value in doing that as opposed to going to a spa. So find what works for you, not what works for someone else. Find what works for you and then give it to yourself. If it's doing your nails, doing your hair, maybe just taking a walk in the park, because you don't get time to do that. Maybe you're always so busy. Just take time and say, you know what, I'm going to reward myself. I'm going to be quiet today.
And speaking on that, I can actually pull from what you said. The other day, I was sitting in my couch at home, and I actually thought to myself, wow,
Yeah.
I can actually come from work, switch on my television, make myself a smoothie,
Yeah.
go for a walk at the lagoon, come back, take a shower, prepare a meal, and go to bed. And for me, that is, I'm like, wow, because I'm done with school.
Yeah.
The season of being grinding, I'm done.
Yeah.
The season of grinding, Raka, I've delegated, I've grown up, I have a team now. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have to do everything myself. So it gives me more time. And the season I am, it's beautiful.
Oh, wow.
It's a very beautiful season, and I'm really, really, really grateful for it. Yes, there are a lot of areas or things that need improvement, but in this moment, I'm actually just grateful for everything.
Oh, wow. Yesterday, we were driving, and we're driving the car that we're driving around. It doesn't have like aircon. It doesn't have aircon, and I was just telling her, I was like, oh my goodness, why is our brother like this? Like, why is he not giving us his car to drive around, since he's just going to the office and you know, sitting in the office, and then we can have a car that's cooler. And she said, but we have a car to drive around. We don't have to get a cab. We don't have to get an Uber. We have a car to, you know, go from one place to another. So that in itself is something to be grateful for. And I was like, I didn't think of it like that. I was just complaining. I was like, it's so hot here. Like, I need some aircon. But yeah. But I think sometimes that's why you need people to just, you know, pull you back and say, you know what, wait a minute. You should be grateful for what you have, because sometimes you always look outside the window and look for better opportunities and better things to do. So that just me think, you know, like, we should be grateful for what we have. And sometimes we look outside the window and we try and you know, compare ourselves to other people who have better things, that, oh, we think they have better things and we want them, but it's not necessarily the thing. I think we should always just take a step back and just thank God for, you know, the small things. So last year I embarked on this gratitude journey where I would note down what I'm grateful for. At first, it was challenging because you just think, what am I grateful for?
Yeah.
Why? Like, you look at water coming out of your tap and you're just like, it has to come out of there, you know. You look at food and you're like, I have to have food to eat. But then you don't think that there are actually people who don't have food.
Exactly.
You don't think that people actually don't have water, or clean water to drink, or warm beds to sleep in. And once you realize, or once you just take a step back, because you know these things, but you just kind of blur them out because you're like, I have them, and you stop being grateful for them. So when I got injured last year, June, while playing netball, it took 6 months to almost be able to work on myself. Like, I was on crutches, and every day I would wake up and I'm like, oh my goodness. So my shoulder started paining, my everything just started paining, and I was like, is this how it feels? I was like, I didn't even realize my one leg was doing so much at that point, because you're just like,
the pressure
the pressure was so much, and I was like, oh my goodness, thank you God. And I think that just I really had to step back and just say thank you, God, for the ability to work. And I couldn't wait to start working. And now that I work, I'm like, oh God, thank you very much. People don't,
Exactly.
and it's only when you don't have it that you realize.
Just sorry to cut you short.
Yeah.
But when you said that, I just got a revelation. So this is where it goes to say that we cannot function in complete isolation.
Yeah.
Meaning that it is a community.
Mm-hmm.
So everything has its function
Mm-hmm.
and its purpose and its season.
Yeah.
So meaning that if one thing stops functioning,
Mm-hmm.
it puts pressure on the other thing.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
So we need to be reminded that we don't function in complete isolation, and that's why we need each other.
Yeah.
And that goes well into seasons as well.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
that
true.
goes well into seasons as
Just
well.
just on seasons as well. I am a firm believer that some people are only there for certain seasons.
Mhm.
I don't think everyone should be in every season.
Mm-mm.
No. I think I had friends where when I was going through this season, they were really the best people to be there. Like I
Definitely.
wouldn't want it any other way. But then when I find myself in the next season, I'm like, they're not there, and it's good they're not there because they
Definitely.
don't fit in that season.
Definitely.
But then you just realize, like, and you also have your freelancers, that go through every season.
Definitely.
But then you should just acknowledge that not everyone can be to with you in every season.
No.
And that's totally fine.
Definitely. That I 100% I completely agree with that, because there were friends I had when I was in high school, when I was in uni, that I haven't taken to post uni.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So, and I think we as individuals need to understand, the quicker we understand that things are seasonal based.
Yeah.
And we cannot, and that is the thing that I'm talking about, applying too much pressure
Mm-hmm.
on certain individuals or certain groups or certain things.
Yeah.
Because they play out their season, and it's like God is constantly surfing,
Oh, yeah.
sieving everything, constantly. So my values have changed, my morals have changed.
Oh, yeah.
I cannot take friend X with to the next season of my life,
Mm-hmm.
because we are not there anymore. She has served her purpose. I have served my purpose in her life.
Mm-hmm.
We move.
Yeah.
I move to the next employer because I've served my purpose there, and God saw it fit. I need to move.
That's true.
It's true. And for the longest time, I used to live in Windhoek.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to cry to my sister, no, I want to go back, because I relocated back home.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the best thing for me to do in that season at that time, even though I did not want to do it. But at the season, Wolfish Bay was calling for me.
I remember I was like, no, how can
you
move back home? No.
Yes. And I had to go back. I
Mm-hmm.
went back home because my season was over. I served my purpose in Windhoek.
Yeah.
And if I didn't follow the calling at the time, Braca Drops wouldn't have been existed.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I wouldn't have had Boss Babes Elevation. We would have impacted. I wouldn't have made the impact that I'm making now in the smaller town.
Oh yeah.
Do you understand? So I was called to Wolfish Bay for a season, and now the seasons are it's transitioning. I'm going from spring, autumn, winter in Wolfish Bay. But that is where God wants me to be. And that is where I found my peace.
That's true.
And now I can, I fully understand when he speaks about the peace that surpasses all understanding. Because when I was in Windhoek, I did not comprehend. But now it's like, it's a peace that comes with knowing that it's taken care of.
Yeah.
So that's where the gratitude aspect comes in. It's not to say that you are downplaying ambition.
Yeah.
But true. It's to say, God, I see what you are doing. I've worked.
And you take
and you took stage. I did what I could, and you finished it.
Yeah.
And I'm there to say, thank you, Lord. He knows my heart's desires.
Yeah.
He knows, okay, Ndeshi would like to do A, B, C, D.
That's true.
Or she has a bigger plan. But in the season, I'm happy because it might not be the right time.
That's true.
He needs to release me to the next season.
And I think it's also fine to be scared,
Yes,
because
definitely.
answering God's calling, it can really be daunting. Because I remember before I moved to the UK to study, I thought to myself, oh my goodness, like how am I going to do this? Like my family? No, I can't leave them behind. And I just thought to myself, there was a period where I was like, I'm even gonna decline the scholarship. I'm not gonna do it. Yeah, I was just this is news.
Definitely.
But yeah, it's because you fight with yourself and you don't want to answer because you're so comfortable in wherever you are, or what do you call it? Comfortable with being uncomfortable. Because yes, you want to grow, but
Yes.
you don't want to move.
Definitely.
Yeah, so you're comfortable with being uncomfortable that you're so scared to move, and that's why people find themselves in the same thing, or recreating the same way over and over, because it's just the fear of moving out and trying and taking the risk.
Yes,
You
definitely.
know. So yeah,
Because I even remember when we had the discussion with Ndemu, Ndem's our brother. When we had the discussion with Ndemu, you actually asked him a few days ago. No, I told you that I'm at peace with where I am. For the first time in 6 years, I don't want to move back.
Yeah.
I've always had that hunger of moving back, but I don't want to move back because I'm at a season where I don't know, I'm resting like in God's, like in his, under his wing, like I'm resting, and I just feel that every move is orchestrated, like he's gonna orchestrate every. And she couldn't understand it because I didn't dig deep to make her understand. She just felt like, becoming too comfortable. But you know, it's like he needs to release me because I know I am serving a purpose where I am currently.
Yeah.
And there's things that I need to finish.
Yeah.
And I know because I have it in my mind, like it's a visual picture. It's a visual picture. And I have it in my mind until that is done. It might change along the way because, you know, it's God's plan.
Yeah, that's true.
So it might change along, but until that is done, I don't think he's going to release me yet. Yeah. So I need to finish that, and then I can move.
Yeah, that's right.
And then I can go on to the next town or wherever he needs me to be.
That's really beautiful. I think seasons is so interesting.
It's very interesting.
I can go on and on speaking about seasons because it's just there's just so much to speak about. Now we spoke about gratitude in seasons, just for one to understand where you're at and also be grateful in the moment and being present in the season. And that just teaches you a lot, I think.
And also think like with gratitude, a certain level of peace comes with gratitude. And I read a quote that once said, when you have a heart of gratitude, people tend to think that you are rich, like wealthy. But it's because you are not always talking about the next thing, but celebrating the now. For instance, I know Omune likes to say that she likes to romanticize her life, and that is also where I'm at. So people always not mistaken, but like this is a perception. You've got it all figured out.
Okay.
But not necessarily. It's just I'm grateful.
Okay.
I'm grateful that I'm able to come home to my own space.
Yeah.
And just thrive in my own space. I'm able to go to the cinema alone and like just make the most out of every single moment. I do that a lot. For instance, when I go to my parents, when I do dinner for them, I'll set the table, light candles.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I create memories out of everything. Or I just create like I don't know how to call it, but I create something out of nothing.
Yeah.
That's basically
it's like creating soft life for yourself.
Yes.
You know, you don't have to necessarily go to a 5-star hotel
definitely
to actually have candles on the table.
Definitely.
Or, you know, make yourself a mocktail
definitely.
or cocktail. You do it by yourself at home in the comfort of your house. And that's
a few years ago I was not in that space.
Yeah.
Do you understand? But now I understand.
Yeah.
I understand, and I have so much to be grateful for, and I'm grateful every day. So I create a 5-star experience. Let me say, I try and create a 5-star experience for myself every day.
That's beautiful.
Be it drinking a glass of mineral water. I put it in a wine glass and slice up a lemon and put it in. Then I blend my smoothie instead of putting it in a smoothie. I put it in a cocktail glass. Sip it.
Girl.
Exactly, because that's the season I'm in.
Yeah.
Gratitude.
That's it. So yeah, embracing seasons, I think, and just knowing that not just friendships, relationships, or because we also tend to think you fell in love with this one person, and they really, really are the person for that season. But unfortunately, I think because we have this idea, or at least most of us have this idea of relationships when they break off, they need to be bad. It's not like I grew apart. We have different views of life. We don't align right now, and we can't go forward. That's what I have a problem with. Like, I always look at relations and I'm like, why is it that people have to break off bad? Why is it that you can't speak about your ex or can't speak to your ex just in a very humane way and say that, oh, hey, how are you? You know, we had something.
Yes.
We respect that, but we have moved on with our lives. But we don't have to be enemies.
Definitely.
We don't have to be enemies.
I think that comes with a level of maturity. That
I
definitely
agree.
comes with a level of maturity, because
I agree.
when something does not work out, I don't know, people just tend to become sour.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So there's a certain level of maturity that needs to be attained for a relationship to be respectful and cordial.
Okay.
And that's with friendships as well.
Fair.
Because some friendships, yes, we understand. If I see you, we'll laugh about the old days.
Yeah.
Talk about the old days. Wish each other well. But other friendships, it's just it's time, and it's time. Basically, time. You grew apart.
Yeah.
Because I'm not the person I was 5 years ago, but that does not mean I'm your enemy.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it takes a bigger toll on friendships as opposed to relationships. Because with friendships, it's a thing of, you were so invested in this for years, and it's a lot of secrets that were shared. It's a bond. It's a bond that was shared, and it was a lot of work as well. You understand? So we come from way back, like let's say from grade 5.
Yeah.
And then 16 years later, we just don't align.
Yeah. And that's
people
fine.
and people don't take it lightly.
Yeah.
Others come from a take it from a complex of, she thinks she's better than me now.
That's true.
Do you understand?
That's
so
true.
It's a lot of inner projection issues also.
Yeah. I agree.
So
I agree.
Yes, definitely. That's why I said it comes with a level of maturity.
Yeah, and just on friendships, I think we'll be shifting the gear a little bit just to speak about how one builds and maintains long-lasting friendships or relationships with anybody, because it's not just always friendships. You can have acquaintances that you just have beautiful relationships with. I struggle with it a lot.
I know.
Especially
I think I thrive in that area.
Yeah.
I think I really thrive in that area. God has really blessed me. I thrive in that area because my friends always used to say I'm the connect. Like I'm the one that brings them together.
Yeah.
Together. It comes natural to me. I don't know. Some people find it really hard because the balance, the older we become, the more responsibilities we take on. So we don't have as much time as we do anymore. Like I said to you earlier this morning, when I told you I'm linking up with a few friends. I'm in Vento currently, and this is where I went. I attended varsity, so most of my varsity friends are here.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and most of my friends after varsity that I met also are here. So I actually told her, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna choose a venue, call up all 5 of them, so we can just meet up at one space and I kill a lot of birds with one stone.
That's true. It's good. That's a good one.
Yes. So I think when you look at friendships, it's work, it's a relationship, it's and I think on top of it all, consideration. That's for me the biggest thing. And if you get that right, then you can run with your friend. It's consideration.
What's funny is that I struggle with friends because I have my own bad experiences, and I think I've built this wall around myself, because I just feel like when I'm a friend, I don't want to say I'm a perfect friend, but I do so much. Like I give myself. I don't know how to give half, or so I overgive, and people always take advantage of that. And then when it's like a friendship breakup, those are always bad. Like
it's bad.
It's bad. So when it's a friendship breakup, then I just build this wall. I'm just like, I'm not letting anyone in. But the funny part is when it comes to family, I'm the total opposite, because I can keep relationships with family, and I feel like I love my family relationships. Like those don't break off. But friendships are just, maybe it's the effort. Like I just don't.
I think it's one of those things because you've already built a wall.
Yeah.
And you have us.
Yeah.
So I mean, so it's like you said, it's the effort. I don't think you see the need. If it doesn't work out, just let it slide, let it go.
Yeah, and I'm just so comfortable. I'm just like, do I need friends? because it's also a lot of work.
It is
Having
a lot of
friends
work, guys.
is
It is a lot. I can tell you that it is a lot of work. But having understanding, that's why I say you must having understanding friends. That's a blessing. Guys, but friendships are a blessing as well. As
it's
much as
beautiful.
it's a lot of work, it is beautiful. It's just a beautiful concept when I think of it. It's like this whole complete stranger. Why am I so attached to you? We don't have blood. It's not like we are blood related. It's not like we are forced or there's anything keeping us together.
Yeah.
It's except a bond. And it's a choice that we made to keep that bond.
Yeah.
I think it's just a beautiful concept. If it's done correctly, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I think it can either be very nice or very
either
bad.
very messy. So I was one of the few that are blessed to really have those beautiful connections.
I do have a few good friends. Like, you know, like I feel they're probably sisters now. A few good friends, but I just don't have like a, you know, like there are people who have like a big pool of friends. You know, like
would you say I would
probably say, I think now it's just probably narrowed down a little bit. You did have a big pool of friends. You did. But
and we're talking about both genders.
Yeah, you know, like it's crazy. But I would have events and they would have to invite their friends to my events because I don't have enough friends.
Definitely. And what was also so weird about the dynamics is like my friends would come sleep over in my absence as well. So it's
like her friends
what's
became
happening?
My friends.
How am I missing out on the fun? And even when I moved, especially the first year when I moved, I was still very much in contact with my friends, and my friends would say, "No, we were chilling with one of your sisters," and I was like, "Oh,
yeah, I think
I'm missing out on everything."
Yeah, I think if I think of your friends, it's just like, you know, oh, I'll say hi to her, or I'll call her and be like, oh, hey, can you help me with this, or do you need this, you know? Yeah, I think it's also like you said, friendships are really, really beautiful relationships, like a family. Like some of your friends now, I don't even look at them as your friends. I just think, oh, it's a cousin, or you know, it's a family friend,
like cousins.
and that's it.
We forced my brother to become cousins with my friends,
and he doesn't like it.
Doesn't think it's funny at all.
Yeah. So building long-lasting relationships, that's really and probably vulnerability is also one of the things. You need to be vulnerable when you're expressive, because if you're one of those friends that just hold everything in and you don't express, and I think that's where relationships go wrong. You need to be vulnerable, because I think it's a key element.
Definitely. But speaking of vulnerability, I had this discussion with another friend of mine the other day. They teach us and tell us to be vulnerable. But they do not teach us to discern, because vulnerability is something it's a good thing. Yeah. But when you're vulnerable to the wrong person. Because that has happened with me before. Twice actually. And unfortunately it leaves you have this trust issue. Because I mean, vulnerability is something, it happens in the spur of the moment. Yeah. Do you understand? It's something that happens in the spur of the moment. You feel, okay, this is the right time for me to let my guard down and speak about things that I haven't spoken to anybody about. This is me naked, uncovered. Yeah. But who are you getting naked with? Do people actually know how to handle when someone else is vulnerable? Oh yeah, that's true. They don't teach us that.
Because you can be sharing
definitely
a very, very sensitive topic, and I can just be
definitely. I shared a very sensitive topic with somebody, something that I haven't even shared with my sisters. It landed
in the wrong ears.
In the wrong ears, and it was regret instant. Yeah. But then God reminded me, you need to pray for discernment. Always pray for discernment before you just babble.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, that's good. But we are human beings, I think sometimes, and sometimes you just, because you have this relationship with someone,
definitely
you kind of just assume.
Or also because especially when the person is older, you also just assume like, okay, this person has lived and has been through life much longer than I have. I feel this is going to be a safe space. Yeah. And she's able to, or he's able to hold my hand and take me through. Yeah. Do you understand? Because they have lived longer. They have more experience in certain things.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true.
So vulnerability is, it's a key to a long-lasting relationship. Yeah. But it's also there's a fine line. You need to be very careful who you're vulnerable with, because it can really, really, really put you in a bad space when issues of your past or whatever you're dealing with comes out.
That's true. I didn't think of it that way, but yeah, that's really beautiful.
That's not from experience.
Yeah, and probably the final thing on seasons is the hardest thing, which is cutting off people, knowing when to cut off people. through hard seasons, you also learn who your true friends are, who your true people are, who can you actually lean. So how do you actually identify or actually know when to draw the line? Or in your past experiences, obviously, when have you said, you know what, this is where I draw the line?
There's something that you mentioned about being in a season of hardship and knowing who your friends are.
Yeah.
I think also we need to release that expectation. We need to get to a point where we also release that expectation of having every friend show up for you.
Okay.
Because there are times in certain seasons that some friends, people just can't show up for you because they have their own stuff going on for them.
Yeah.
So expecting one person to be this all-rounder friend also puts a lot of pressure on it. And once we start releasing that pressure, I think things will small, especially when it comes to relationships and friendships. There's an understanding. It's to themselves. There's an understanding. But cutting off friends, I think your vision or your purpose or where you're headed to.
If it's not aligned.
If it's not aligned, it's way easier. It's not even a conversation that you guys will have. It's coming together and being uncomfortable.
It's one of those ghosting things.
It's one of those ghosting things. It just happens. Yeah. I don't know how, but it just happens.
Yeah.
It just happens. Joyce and I, we no longer speak the same language. So we don't understand each other.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Because we can't communicate anymore. Languages don't align.
Yeah.
Automatic.
So that's really true.
And then there's deliberate cutting. When somebody crosses a line or a boundary that you set and you know that is a no-go zone area and you've had a discussion of it about it, then obviously the person does not respect the person that you are or what you stand for.
Yeah, that's true.
Then gotta let them go, sis. Because they're not
gotta cut it off.
They're not serving any value.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I couldn't.
And also people that constantly tap from your well, but they don't pour into your cup.
Preach.
That's very draining. You
preach.
You cannot. That is not a relationship, unfortunately.
That's true.
Because it is a.
And that's what I struggle with, and that's why I think my friendships are always, when I do find, or I only have like a handful of good friends, because I feel like I'm such a pourer, and people don't pour back, and then I have to constantly get it from you probably, and you're also exhausted because now you're pouring so much into me, and you have to pour into 10 other people, but because my 10 other people are not pouring back into me, I'm only getting from one person, and that's where I always like, after a while, which is kind of, I need to work on it because I don't communicate very well when it comes to that. I won't tell you. I'll just like give you strike one, strike two, silent strike one, strike two, and then I just cut you off. And that's me. When I think cut
obviously
you off,
in that process, don't they ask Joyce what's happening? Why are you not?
People couldn't care less because if you're such a receiver, people like receiving. You're the friend that's, oh, let's go for lunch, you're paying. Oh, it's your birthday, happy birthday, take this. Oh, it's Christmas, let's book a trip, you're paying. Because you're proposing this thing, so you're paying. And then people are never gonna say, oh, it's your birthday, let me
cook dinner for you. Yeah. It doesn't always have to be something.
And that's one of the things I've decided. Like I had this one friend, I bought things for birthday and stuff, and I just decided I'm not gonna do it because when it's my birthday, it's just a not even a happy birthday, it's a HBD.
Oh my
goodness. Joyce. And I'm like, okay. And you don't get me anything. Not that and my brother is big on expectations. I know he grills me on expectations, always like manage your expectations. But you're a human being. If you give, you expect to get back. You can't just keep pouring out. That's the reality of life. Like you can't just keep pouring out. And unfortunately you will expect. If I'm doing something to you, I would expect you to also just treat me with the same kindness.
Not saying that if I am able to spend 10K on you, you must spend 10K on me. No. It's about the effort that the person puts in and the thought. Yeah. So cooking dinner for me at home.
Just something nice, you obviously know your your friends or your family members' financial situation, so you don't expect the same. If I can give you a handbag, a Louis Vuitton handbag, I don't expect that back. But probably I just expect you to be like, oh, I cooked lunch for us, or I was washing clothes and I washed yours. Just something else. that's the small gestures I think that people miss, and they just, and I lose it. Like
But
I
you know what's so
don't.
funny is I I really struggle to, and maybe because I I have a circle of I point to you, you point to me, I point to you, you know, that type of thing. And I know it can never be equal because depending on the season that the other
Yeah,
person is
yeah,
currently in, so maybe that person needs me to pour in more at that point.
yeah.
But what I find is so funny is that with friendships it's difficult, the point system.
Mm.
But when it comes to relationships, you'll find romantic relationships. You'll find the very same friend that is unable to give you a bit, you know?
She's pouring so much
She's
into
the one pouring the most and for years.
it.
And her cup is empty and you need to pour from your cup. Do you understand? So also these are the things that the things that we need to look at to evaluate and see, like, is this really working out?
Yeah, that's true.
Is this friendship really working out? Because I'm constantly pouring more into this cup,
Yeah,
but this cup is never pouring even
a little
a
bit.
little
You don't
bit.
have to.
But this cup is constantly pouring into another cup that keeps her dry,
Yeah,
and I constantly have to make up for that.
and that's true. And also just being realistic that it's never gonna be a 50. It's not always gonna be a
Definitely
50-50.
never.
I
That's
think
where
Michelle
seasons,
Obama said this.
yes, and that's where seasons come
Yeah,
in.
and that's what season you this season you give me 90, I give you 10, and then next season I give you 80, you give me 20. And being realistic, and but if it's like season 1, season 2, season 3, it's just 70, 70, 70, or even 90,
Definitely
90, 90, and you're just giving 10.
can't do that for
And
four
yeah,
seasons. No,
yeah, no,
not
then
gonna work.
then that's where you draw the line. But yeah, this was a very wonderful discussion on seasons, and I think we have unpacked the various elements in seasons. We spoke about friendships, relationships, vulnerability, and embracing seasons, and also just practicing gratitude in
Yes.
itself. So there's this final question that I always ask my audience. So what is success? What does success mean to you? I just want to get a understanding of different views on success, because I personally feel like that my success definition changes also based on season. So this season I'll probably be like, I want to be a millionaire, and that's success. But next season I'll probably be like, having my kids around is success for me. So what is success to you now?
Now,
Yeah, is it a feeling? Is it a achievement? What is it?
going success to me now is a feeling.
Okay.
It's the feeling of being able to do what I want to do at
Mm.
any given time.
Okay.
That is to me that success. Freedom.
Okay.
Freedom and peace. That is what success.
Peace.
So if the peace that comes without any, obviously nobody has a perfect life without problems.
Yeah.
But I mean a peace that allows me to be free. A peace that allows me to just, I don't know, just do anything small.
That's good.
There's a lot of people that are stuck and they do not have freedom to move or do whatever they want to do. So to me, that is at this moment right now, success looks like peace and freedom.
Okay.
That's what success looks like.
Oh, that's beautiful. So success is peace and freedom for you.
Peace and freedom.
That's beautiful. It's really beautiful. Yeah, so we have come to the end of the discussion. It was so insightful. Thank you so much for taking time to just have this discussion. I think it's one of those topics and discussions that people don't really necessarily have in the open. And it's wonderful to see that there are young individuals such as yourself really, really willing to have open discussions about topics that are not really discussed in public and so forth. And I think my hope is just that all these discussions that I have on this platform can empower someone or can help someone understand probably the seasons that they're going through, or the different. So every person that comes onto the show, they have a topic that they will be discussing, and probably one of the topics will really resonate with you and see and help you in some way, or help someone else. Help a friend, help a friend.
Definitely.
Yeah. So that is the aim of this whole discussion. So thank you very much, guys.
Before
Thank you for.
close off, I need to say something.
Okay.
Are you?
Yeah.
Guys, I just want to say I'm really proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
Like seeing, I'm going to share, but seeing Joyce.
I hope
Tati.
she didn't share secrets.
No, chat with Tati. Tati used to be this introverted, shy, timid girl. I would say girl because back then we were young. Girl. Tati was. We would walk into a shop, into a store,
Wow.
like a retail clothing shop, and she wouldn't even want to ask the shop assistants for a shoe size or any information that she needed. She would always say, please go ask. Please go ask. But seeing
Yeah.
her now, talking to people, interviewing people, that is growth. And I am extremely proud of her. I
Oh,
want to say I'm really, really proud of you. I love what you're doing. I
yeah.
love that it's impacting others.
Mm.
And I'm happy. I'm
Yeah.
happy to see you evolve. This is your moment.
Oh, thank you very much.
Guys, please, please, please support my sister because she comes a really long way. For
Oh,
her to be here,
there's a story
I
behind this.
yes, I never thought that
Mhm.
you would come out of your shell like this. Like I
Mm.
would think you would come out of your shell, but not like this. I mean, YouTube interviewing people.
Oh, wow.
Like this is maybe the most she's spoken to.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's
I want to
one.
say I'm really proud of you, sis. Like keep
Oh,
going, keep pushing, and it's a good thing that you're doing. You're really touching others and you're helping others, especially with the financial aspect and these segments that you now have.
yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Oh, thank you very
Yes.
much. Yeah, I was really, really shy. I was, just thinking back, I was like, wow, I was so shy. But I think that in itself has a story that I'll share one day.
Mhm.
But yeah, thank you very much. It's really heartwarming to hear that from you. And yeah, guys, please do subscribe, like the video, and put your comments in the comment section. Do follow Victoria on Instagram and TikTok, you said?
Yes, TikTok.
Yeah. All her details will be in the description box below. Follow her, book her events, and inquire about anything. If you're in Namibia, coming to Namibia, she's based in Wolfish Bay, that's in the coast. So yeah, feel free to reach out to her. And till next time, bye
See
for
you in
now.
the next season.
Yeah. Ciao, ciao.